Imagine discovering that one of the most valuable objects in your collection became valuable because somebody made a mistake. Not a masterpiece intentionally created to be rare, not an object made from gold, a mistake. A printing plate placed the wrong way, a color that should never have been used, a design printed upside down, a sheet that should have been destroyed but somehow escaped. In most manufacturing processes, errors reduce value. In stamp collecting, the opposite can happen. The right mistake, combined with genuine rarity, historical importance, and collector demand, can transform a tiny piece of paper into an extraordinary collectible. Perhaps the most famous example is the inverted Jenny, the 1918 American airmail stamp featuring an airplane accidentally printed upside down. Only one sheet of 100 examples was discovered. Today, individual examples can command extraordinary prices, but that raises a fascinating question. Why? Why would collectors pay enormous sums for something that was technically produced incorrectly? And how can you distinguish a genuine printing error from a damaged stamp, a normal printing variation, or even a deliberate fake? Today, we're entering one of the strangest and most exciting corners of philately. We will investigate famous errors, learn how they happen, explore how specialists authenticate them, and discover why some tiny printing mistakes have become legendary treasures. This is Get Rare Error Stamps, misprints that made millions. And somewhere in an old album, forgotten envelope, or inherited collection, another remarkable error may still be waiting to be recognized. To understand error stamps, we first need to understand the world that created them. The modern postage stamp emerged during the 19th century. Britain's famous penny black, issued in 1840, helped transform postal communication by allowing postage to be prepaid using a small adhesive stamp. Other countries soon followed. Suddenly, governments needed to manufacture enormous quantities of tiny, standardized pieces of printed paper. And where there is mass production, there is opportunity for error. Stamp production historically involved numerous stages: design preparation, plate production, paper preparation, printing, color application, perforation, overprinting, inspection, distribution. Every additional stage created another opportunity for something to go wrong. A plate could be incorrectly positioned. A sheet could be turned around before receiving a second color. Perforations could shift dramatically. An overprint could be inverted. A required element could disappear. And sometimes the mistake wasn't detected until stamps had already entered circulation. Initially, these were not manufactured as collectibles. They were production failures. But collectors noticed. Philatelists began identifying differences between normal stamps and unusual examples. Catalogs documented them. Experts studied them. Auction houses offered them, and famous errors developed histories of their own. The irony is extraordinary. The printer's failure could become the collector's treasure. But not every imperfection is a valuable error. And that distinction is where the story becomes much more complicated. Rare error stamps do not exist in isolation. They belong to an enormous international ecosystem. Collectors, specialist dealers, auction houses, philatelic societies, museums, postal historians, researchers, authentication experts, catalog publishers, and increasingly, online marketplaces and digital collecting platforms all play a role. For serious collectors, an error can represent much more than monetary value. It can document exactly what happened during a particular printing process. Think of an error stamp as physical evidence. Something went wrong. The surviving stamp preserves that event. That is one reason provenance can become so important. Where did the stamp come from? Who previously owned it? When was it discovered? Has it appeared in respected collections? Has an expert committee examined it? Does its history match what researchers know about the original printing? For famous rarities, provenance can almost become part of the collectible itself. Then there is condition. Two examples of the same error may have dramatically different market appeal. Collectors may examine centering, gum, hinges, creases, tears, thinning, perforations, color, cancellations, repairs, and overall freshness. A rare stamp is not automatically valuable. Demand matters, condition matters, authenticity matters, historical significance matters, and the story surrounding the object can matter enormously. The strongest error stamps often combine several factors simultaneously: extreme rarity, a visually obvious mistake, historical importance, strong collector demand, and a fascinating discovery story. That combination can turn a printing accident into a philatelic icon. At its core, a postage stamp error is a significant, unintended production mistake affecting the finished stamp. But collectors need to be careful with terminology. Not every unusual-looking stamp should automatically be called an error. Let's examine several major categories. 1. Inverted centers. Some classic stamps required multiple printing stages. Imagine the frame being printed first. The sheet is then returned to the press for the central image, but the sheet is accidentally inserted the wrong way around. The result? The center appears upside down. The legendary inverted Jenny is the classic example. The aircraft appears inverted relative to the surrounding frame. It is instantly recognizable, and that visual drama is part of its appeal. 2. Missing colors. Multicolor printing creates another possibility. Suppose a stamp requires 4 printing stages. If one color is accidentally omitted, the final stamp can look dramatically different. But caution is essential. Color can also be altered after production through chemicals, sunlight, or environmental damage. A stamp that appears to have a missing color therefore needs proper examination before anyone concludes that it is a genuine production error. 3. Color errors. Sometimes a stamp may genuinely appear in a color different from the intended issue. One legendary example is Sweden's Triskilling yellow. The famous surviving example is associated with Sweden's 1855 stamp issue and appears yellow rather than the expected color for that denomination. Its unusual appearance, rarity, and mysterious history helped make it one of philately's most celebrated stamps. 4. Inverted or missing overprints. Postal administrations sometimes modify existing stamps by adding an overprint. That might indicate a new denomination, a new postal purpose, a change of authority, or another administrative modification. But the additional printing stage creates additional opportunities for mistakes. Overprints can appear inverted, doubled, misplaced, or in some circumstances, missing. 5. Perforation errors. Perforations allow stamps to be separated. If the perforating equipment is incorrectly aligned, holes can pass through the design or appear in unusual positions. Some legitimate perforation errors are collectible. But again, collectors must distinguish true production errors from stamps that were later cut, trimmed, or manipulated. 6. Imperforate errors. Sometimes stamps intended to have perforations can escape production without them. But context is essential. Some stamps were intentionally issued imperforate. Others may have naturally straight edges. A genuine imperforate error therefore requires evidence that the stamp should have been perforated. Pairs or larger multiples can sometimes provide much stronger evidence than a single suspicious example. 7. Design errors versus production errors. Here is another important distinction. A stamp can contain an incorrect map, spelling, date, or illustration because somebody made an error during design. That is different from a production error affecting only some copies. If every stamp was printed with the same incorrect information, collectors may describe it as a design error rather than a rare printing error. Understanding these differences is critical because in serious collecting, terminology affects identification, cataloging, and potentially value. Now imagine this. You inherit an old stamp collection. Most of the album looks ordinary. Then you notice something strange. One stamp appears different from every image you can find online. Perhaps the center is inverted. Perhaps an expected color is absent. Perhaps the perforations appear unusual. Your first reaction might be, "I've found a rare error." But that should not be your first conclusion. Your first conclusion should be, "I've found something that deserves investigation." That difference in mindset can save collectors from expensive mistakes. Step 1. Do not alter it. Don't clean it. Don't trim it. Don't attempt to improve the perforations. Don't remove it carelessly from an envelope. Don't apply chemicals. Don't try to repair it. Preserve the object exactly as discovered. Step 2. Identify the normal stamp. Before identifying the error, identify what the stamp is supposed to be. Determine where possible, Country, issue, denomination, approximate year, printing method, paper, watermark, perforation, and known varieties. You cannot understand what is wrong until you understand what is normal. Step 3. Compare known examples. Use reputable catalogs, specialist literature, and established philatelic resources. Look for documented errors from the same issue. Does your example match, or is it something completely different? Step 4. Document provenance. If the stamp came from an inherited collection, old correspondence, or a long-held album, preserve that information. Do not throw away the album pages, envelopes, notes, or certificates surrounding it. They may contain useful evidence. Step 5. Seek expert authentication. For potentially significant discoveries, professional examination can become essential. Depending on the item and jurisdiction, recognized philatelic expertising organizations or specialists may examine printing characteristics, paper, ink, perforations, cancellations, and other features before issuing an opinion or certificate. And here is an important principle. A price you see online is not automatically the value of your stamp. An asking price is not a completed sale. A record auction price for an exceptional example is not automatically applicable to another example. Condition, authenticity, provenance, and demand all need consideration. For valuable collectibles, good documentation is part of good collection management. The million-dollar mistake myth. Rare stamps are surrounded by myths, and error stamps attract more than their fair share. Myth 1. Every printing mistake is valuable. False. Printing imperfections can be common. Some have little collector demand. Others are merely minor variations. Rarity must combine with desirability and authenticity. Myth 2. If it looks different, it must be an error. No. Stamps can change after leaving the printing facility. Sunlight can alter colors. Chemicals can affect inks. Moisture can cause damage. People can trim perforations. Repairs can disguise faults. And deliberate manipulation can imitate valuable errors. Myth 3. Old means valuable. Age alone does not determine value. Millions of old stamps survive. Some are worth very little. Meanwhile, a younger stamp containing a genuinely scarce production error could be considerably more desirable. Myth 4. The catalog price is what someone will pay me. Not necessarily. Catalogs are useful references, but actual market outcomes depend on numerous factors. Myth 5. If somebody paid a fortune for one example, mine is worth the same. Again, no. The famous example may have exceptional centering, gum, provenance, or condition. Your example may differ substantially. And now for today's MPC Fact or Fiction Challenge. Fact or fiction? A stamp containing an obvious printing mistake must be rarer than the correctly printed version. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The answer is fiction. An error may be visually dramatic without necessarily being extremely rare. Multiple sheets may have escaped. Many examples may survive. The real question is not simply, is this an error? It is, how many exist, how many survive, what condition are they in, and how strongly do collectors want them? That is where rarity becomes much more interesting. Error, variety, damage, or fake? One of the most valuable skills in stamp collecting is learning not to jump to conclusions. Let's compare 4 possibilities. Genuine production error. Something significant went wrong during manufacture and escaped normal quality control. Examples can include genuine inverted elements, omitted colors, or major perforation mistakes. Printing variety. A recognizable difference may exist, but specialists may classify it differently from a major production error. Terminology can vary by catalog and collecting field. Post-production damage. The stamp left production normally but changed afterward. Fading, chemical alteration, trimming, moisture, scraping, wear. These can sometimes imitate errors. Deliberate manipulation or forgery. Someone intentionally changes a stamp to imitate something more valuable. That possibility is particularly important whenever large amounts of money are involved. This is why expertise matters. Sometimes the most important question in collecting isn't, how much is it worth? It is, what exactly am I looking at? Solve that first, then investigate value. Can technology discover the next great error? Stamp collecting is centuries old. The technology surrounding it is not. High-resolution photography now allows collectors to examine details at enormous magnification. Digital databases make comparison easier. Online auctions reveal examples from around the world. Collection management platforms can help collectors document what they own, and artificial intelligence may increasingly assist with image recognition and comparison. Imagine photographing a stamp and having software compare design alignment, perforation patterns, known varieties, color characteristics, catalog references, and previously recorded examples. Such systems could help collectors identify items requiring closer examination. But technology introduces risks as well. An AI identification is not automatically an expert certificate. A photograph cannot always reveal everything necessary for authentication. Color reproduction can vary between cameras and screens. Physical properties such as paper, gum, watermark, and printing characteristics may require direct examination. And sophisticated digital manipulation can make misleading images easier to create. So the future may not be AI instead of experts. It may be AI helping collectors decide when an expert is needed. MPC Collection Dashboard Concept. For collectors using My Premium Collection, the broader principle is simple. Know what you own, document it, research it, protect it, and maintain the history surrounding important pieces. Because a collection becomes far more useful when the information surrounding each object is preserved alongside the object itself. The next legendary philatelic discovery may already exist, perhaps in a dealer's stockbook, an inherited album, a box of correspondence, or a collection whose owner has looked at the same stamp hundreds of times without noticing that something is wrong. One mistake, one survivor, one extraordinary story. Today we discovered that some of philately's most fascinating treasures exist because something went wrong. We learned how inverted designs, missing colors, unusual perforations, and other production mistakes can create collectible errors. We explored why rarity alone does not determine value. Condition matters, demand matters, history matters, provenance matters, and above everything else, authenticity matters. We also discovered perhaps the most important lesson of the episode. When you find something unusual, don't immediately ask, how much is this worth? Ask, what is this and why is it different? Because understanding the object comes before understanding the price. And sometimes, the mistake is the masterpiece. There are millions of collections around the world containing billions of individual objects. Every object has a history, every collection tells a story, and there is always something new to discover. Continue exploring and organizing the world of collecting with My Premium Collection. Visit mypremiumcollection.com and tell us in the comments, if you could discover one legendary stamp error hidden inside an old collection, which one would you want to find? If you enjoyed this episode, like the video, subscribe and share it with another collector. And stay with us for another episode of Get to Know, where we uncover the objects, discoveries, and stories that make collecting extraordinary. Thank you for watching My Premium Collection, part of the MP Nerds ecosystem. My Premium Collection. Collect, discover, document, learn. Subscribe for more episodes of Get to Know.